Imagine a world where JRPGs have the most bland, boring sounding soundtracks you've ever heard in a game. In that world, this channel would have been named FPS Gaming or something, and I would have been swearing at random kids online all day.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Thankfully, in the real world, JRPGs come along with soundtracks so masterful they rival goddamn Mozart and Beethoven. You've got relaxing tunes that make you feel at ease, creepy and haunting tunes that'll give you the chills, and most importantly, battle themes that'll hype you up so much they'll straight up put you in cardiac arrest. In this video, I'd like to share my personal top 10 favorite battle themes ever made and try to explain why I like them so much. Doesn't matter if it's a random encounter, a boss battle, or the final boss battle, these are just my favorites to listen to when I'm beating up some baddies. I'm also gonna limit it to one song per game, otherwise this entire list would be comprised of like 4 games max. Spoilers are going to be shown here, mainly because a lot of final boss themes are hype as hell. So I'm going to show the game's logo for a few seconds before talking about it, so consider that your spoiler warning. And without further delay, please enjoy the music. Stab the Sword of Justice was originally the normal battle theme in Star Ocean: The Second Story, the second Star Ocean game. However, the heroic remix in Star Ocean: The Last Hope is the actual entry on this list. Both are amazing nonetheless. They really captured the heroic feeling in this song, and if the saving the world trope in JRPGs had a national anthem, it would be this song and this song only. This version plays on the artificial planet EN2, which is implied to be a future destination in Star Ocean 2. This song somehow made me feel nostalgic even though Star Ocean: The Second Story is the only Star Ocean in the series I haven't played yet. And it's very obvious that that's what they were aiming for, especially with this beautiful piano solo. Yeah, so I can't wait to get my hands on that Star Ocean 2 remake and hear this song a bunch more times. As the name states, this song plays during the tutorial boss fight in Digimon World 2. Now, say what you will about the gameplay, but you have to admit that this game had an incredible soundtrack. Game composers in the early 2000s seriously had no chill. Even a goddamn tutorial boss has to be accompanied by a work of art. It's like they composed this song intending for it to be nostalgic as hell 20 years later. It's a bit too serious for literally the second fight in the game. Like, goddamn Leomon, what you do to have all this emotional build-up? This song also becomes the primary boss theme halfway through the game, but I'm always gonna remember it for Leomon whenever I hear it. Digimon World 2 and 3 seriously need a remake, or at least a proper sequel. Come on Habu, you can do it. If It's For You is a remix of Tales of Xillia 2's main theme and opening used as the final boss theme, which is always a plus. Although to be more accurate, it's actually Luger's theme, the main protagonist as he finally evolves into his final Chromatus form. This theme just screams the tables have turned, as you get ready to beat this old guy's butt only to get one-shotted because this game's a goddamn scam. What I mean is, we have our epic fight scene with Beasley and then we finish him off with an upgraded version for Mystic Art that we've grown so accustomed to seeing throughout the entire game. This game is awesome, please play it if you haven't yet. and UFO is the normal battle theme in the first Devil Summoner Raido game. Now, again, say what you will about the gameplay, but this song, in my opinion, is the best normal battle theme across all of Megaton. The fact that it's always playing in the background made me not mind the much simpler approach to an action combat system. The part that really gets me is around the 40-second mark, which, again, I feel was purposely made to feel very nostalgic later on, which I think you can tell by now is all they have to do to get me to like their song. Have a listen. Hopefully we'll get remasters for both Raido games very soon, so more people get to appreciate their amazing soundtracks. Cutting Edge of Notion is the normal battle theme in Star Ocean till the end of time. Unlike the previous Star Ocean entry, the feeling I get from this song isn't anything very serious like saving the world or being a hero. The words that come to mind when I hear it are cool, fun, and messy. Cool as in it emphasizes just how cool these characters are, busting out these broken ass attacks and doing a gajillion damage, unless you're playing as Roger. Fun as in it expresses just how much fun the combat system is to people, even if they aren't the ones directly playing. You can just look at the gameplay, hear this song, and think, wow, this looks like a lot of fun. And messy is in regards to most battles being akin to a scramble, with tons of things happening on screen all at once. Another song from this game called The Divine Spirit of Language could have also made this list, but unlike that song, the normal battle theme never gets old. You know a song is good when you're over 100 hours in and you're still never tired of hearing it. Okay, now I'ma be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this game. I played it for a good while and reached the fight with Seymour up in the mountains, couldn't beat him, and felt no motivation to continue playing cause I felt no connection to the story or characters. Later on I was watching my brother play it and he was fighting Seymour Omnis, and oh my god, I fell in love with his battle theme. It's just so bizarre, in a good way. I've never heard anything like it, and it goes on for a whole 3 minutes and goes through a bunch of tone shifts, so this video won't do it justice. It goes from grandiose, to techno, to chilling, to heroic, and you can still hear some classical Final Fantasy in there. We fought this jackass like what, 3 times at this point? And this theme just gives you that feeling that, oh shit, this is it, isn't it? This is the last time we're fighting this prick. Maybe someday I'll give this game another chance just so I beat his ass to this theme myself. Maybe then I change my opinion on this game as a whole. Kotowari, or Reason, boss battle plays during the last few fights in SMT Nocturne. The normal boss battle theme, Fierce Battle, could have also made this list, but I decided on this one since it's very unique. Throughout the game, you were being exposed to different ideologies on how the new world should function. And this song plays as you finally oppose each of these ideologies' leaders, who have now fused with the god and have now become gods themselves. This song starts off with this almost prehistoric tribal beat, maybe signifying that these beings you're fighting aren't actual gods, but just monsters at this point, and it definitely feels very threatening. Soon the organ comes along, which is typically associated with very religious undertones, representing the god side of things, which is also very threatening. A minute in, however, you hear this sick guitar over the already existing organ melody, almost as if it's the Demi-Fiend's response to that way of life. Now, I want you to pay attention to how the guitar goes quiet sometimes and gives the spotlight to the previous organ melody, almost as if it's two people having an argument and two perspectives clashing. It then ends on an even more threatening and grandiose note, signifying the boss's last stand in defending their ideal world. Now, it's possible that I'm reading too much into this, but that's just my analysis on why this song is so special, other than the fact that it's just a joy to listen to. This is the final boss battle theme from Persona 3, my favorite game ever made. On a completely unrelated note, this is my favorite boss battle I've ever experienced. Everything was just perfect, and the music more than just enhances the experience. I couldn't think of a better song to represent Nyx. Nyx's avatar, or Ryoji, is menacing, represented by the song's opening guitar, but they aren't evil. They don't want to fight us, but it's their job to do so, and you can really feel the sorrow through the piano. It also could be that Ryoji has lost all sense of self-awareness and has completely become one with Nyx, which is sorrowful in its own right. And as if that wasn't enough, they had to sprinkle in some nostalgia and hit you with this. A remix of the Velvet Room theme, a theme you've heard over and over so many times across your almost 80-hour journey. I honestly can't think of any way this song could be improved upon. It even features my three favorite instruments, the guitar, piano, and violin. I hope that this song will be just as good in Persona 3 Reload, and it's possibly the thing I'm most excited for. Darkness of the Unknown is the final boss battle theme in Kingdom Hearts 2, and there is actually 3 different versions of the same song for 3 different phases of the same boss. But I'm giving this spot only to the second phase version when you fight Armored Xemnas. Again, like any good boss battle theme, it starts off very menacing, but even more than that, it's just straight up stress-inducing. The word panic always comes to mind when I hear it. I'm pretty sure that this first part is meant to represent Xemnas' dragon spaceship thing rather than Xemnas himself. Even the main notes of the song are slithering around like how a snake or Chinese dragon would. After we're done panicking, however, the song changes pace and goes very emotional. This is the part, I feel, that is dedicated to Xemnas himself. Now, Xemnas, at least in Kingdom Hearts 2, isn't evil for the sake of being evil. He had a reasonable goal in mind and did whatever it takes to achieve that goal. This is primarily because Xemnas was a nobody created from the hearts of both Xehanort, an evil old bastard, and Terra, a doofus with a heart of gold, who just wanted to protect his friends. Kinda like how Xemnas wants to help the members of Organization 13. If you're playing these games in order of release, you won't even have this information by this point. But I believe that this is why this part of the song kinda almost wants you to feel sympathetic towards Xemnas. This final boss fight made Kingdom Hearts 2 for me, and the fact that we didn't get something even remotely close to it in Kingdom Hearts 3 was very disappointing. And before revealing my number 1 pick, some honorable mentions. The name of this one fits it perfectly. It has that do or die energy to it. Words that come to mind when I hear it are crisis and warfare. Unlike other boss themes, which have a very menacing vibe, this one is just like, yeah, that's right, check out how cool my new form is. For a soundtrack that's mostly comprised of soft, calming melodies, they really give it their all for this boss theme. This is another boss theme and plays when you fight against the 7 Demon Lord Digimon. I think dignified when I hear this, kinda shows how elite the 7 Demon Lords are despite being monsters. This is another highly experimental final boss theme, kinda like Final Fantasy X's Seymour Omnis Battle theme. It combines church bells with demonic whisperings, creating a bipolar masterpiece. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, I really like rock music. Falcom games have some of the best music, and I'm kinda shocked that only one made it on here after really thinking about my top picks. The E-Series, for example, has a lot of good tracks, but I consider those as dungeon themes more than anything else. Digital Devil Saga doesn't care if you're taking the Jack Frost quiz, hunting brain octopuses, or partaking in cannibalism, the music is always there to keep you entertained. Everything always sounds like so much fun. This song would have been even higher if not for the long pause of silence it has in the middle. Other than that, it's fantastic. This is the only song on here that literally made me shed a tear. Royal's final boss fight was a work of art, and I think it's primarily due to how well this song fits Marky trying so desperately to convince us on agreeing with him. And now for my number one pick. I'll Face Myself is the main boss battle theme in Persona 4, and it's my pick for the number one best boss theme ever composed. Where do I even start with this one? It incorporates almost everything I've mentioned about the previous song on this list. It's menacing, it's emotional, nostalgic, has leitmotifs from other songs in the game, and you can almost tell just how much fun Meguro had when composing this song. And I believe that there is a deeper meaning to this song. As always, it starts off very threatening and you really get that sense of danger. And remember that danger is a prevalent feeling throughout Persona 4, represented by the constant yellow in your face. The first 20 seconds definitely represents the Shadow's boss form. The second part of the song, which is my favorite actually, almost resembles how the shadow selves of each of the characters are taunting and talking shit to their human selves. They even do so in the middle of the boss fight. Have a listen. After that, the final part of the song, which is the most emotional, I feel resembles how the human selves are deflecting everything the shadow selves are saying, all the while screaming and shouting in desperation and shame cause everyone is seeing their deepest secrets. Have a listen and think of every beat as a form of deflection. I feel like Meguro knew exactly what he was doing with this one. It's as if he saw the entire scenario play out and performed a perfect piece to match such intense emotions. This song alone shows me just how closely the director and composer were working together when creating this game. This song is 15 years old at this point, and I still find myself humming to its melody to this day. I also want to give a shout out to the reincarnation version that plays during Marie's boss fight. That version was just as good as the OG. And there you have it, my top 10 favorite JRPG battle tracks. On closer inspection, I noticed that my top 10 themes were created by only 5 composers. So I want this video to be a kind of thank you to all these talented individuals for adding so much heart and soul to these games. Without these guys, JRPGs would have never been as successful as they are today. That's it from me, and please consider sharing your own favorite battle themes in the comments, consider subscribing for more gaming content, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.